Andre, the question I think a lot of people are asking themselves is Toyota's reputation for reliability in tatters, because as you know, the Tundra has had some serious engine issues.
Yes.
And in this video, we're going to tell you about those engine issues. We're going to tell you the potential solutions, and we're going to address some rumors out there that Tundras can't be
traded in
or sold to dealers because they don't want to deal with the problem with the engine. But let's start out with the background in case you guys have not heard about this. What's happening with the Tundra engine and how many trucks are involved?
Yes, so this is affecting 2022 and 2023 Toyota Tundras. This is the all new generation of the Tundra, right? We know this truck very well because TFL Truck and TFL Studios have owned one for about, half a year. So we can go over about our experiences with the truck as well. It's affecting around 99,000 Tundras and also a couple thousand LX 600 Lexus SUVs, which also have the same engine, basically.
Let me clarify. That's the recall. That's not the issue.
This is what recall is covering.
So about 100,000 vehicles.
About 100,000 vehicles from these 2 years.
All right. And what's the problem? What's happening with the engines?
Well, this is also on TFLtruck.com. The issue, I'll have to read it to you because Toyota made a statement, right?
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Because this is, we want to be very precise. The issue is potential engine knocking, engine rough running, engine no start, and or a loss of motive power, basically the engine shutting off. A loss of motive power while driving at higher speeds can increase the risk of a crash. So this is the statement from Toyota. And if you look at their voluntary recall page on pressroom.toyota.com.
And you know it's serious when it's a voluntary recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Toyota initiated this.
Yeah, nobody forced me to do this. They're saying, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. We better fix it.
Yeah.
But what's happening? So I know that was what is the result. But what's the problem?
Yeah. There is a possibility that certain machining debris may not have been cleared from the engine when it was produced. So they're thinking the root cause for this issue is that while the engine was being manufactured, by the way, basically all Tundra engines are manufactured in Alabama, right? Twin turbo V6, 3.4 liter. And the engines for the Lexus LX 600 are manufactured in Japan because those vehicles are manufactured in Japan and then they're shipped here. So this potentially has to do with two production facilities at Toyota because they probably use the same processes, right?
Right.
Which makes sense because that's how Toyota works. They develop, the processes for, the greatest reliability and dependability, and then they put them across every facility.
So when they were making the engine block, some of the
debris, shavings
ended up in the engine as opposed to out of the engine, which is bad.
So, and the most common thing that could happen potentially is when you start your engine in your truck, you hear knocking. That's the first bad sign that something catastrophic
it's gonna miss.
Yes, and it's basically a bearing problem where the crankshaft is spinning, and when you hear loud knocking, that's the first sign.
Okay. And eventually that may lead to a loss of power. I mean, they kind of said it in a legalese way.
And the failure of the engine, basically.
Right. Yeah, basically you're driving along and you're not driving along.
Yes.
All right. So about 100,000 engines are affected.
Yes.
Most of those in 2022, 2023 Tundras. What percentage of engines, or do we know what percentage of engines may be potentially problematic?
Not exactly.
Okay, so we don't know. So it could be 100%, could be 50%, could be 2%.
Exactly. So there are a couple of, social media is huge, and several owners are keeping a spreadsheet of problematic engines, and there could, on the spreadsheet there could be between 1,200 and 1,400 owners reporting this.
That's one.
So that's like 1.5%.
Okay.
But that's just hearsay, right? I mean, this is just some owners collectively, keeping track of some of these problems.
All right, so that's bad enough, right? I mean, when you have a reputation for reliability, as Toyota does, and you build a new truck, which,
and you replace an engine from a V8, you're going to a twin turbo.
And especially when you're competing with the F-150 and the Silverado, you got to bring your A game. And so if what Toyota is saying is it may just stop running, that was going to hurt the vehicles.
Yeah, and especially
and the
for a
company's
truck.
reputation. Yeah, especially
for a truck, and especially here in the United States.
All right, so what's the solution?
Well, there could.
Oh, you got this. Okay, show me. What's the solution?
Well, first of all, here's their statement from May 30th.
Yeah.
Toyota, this is from Toyota. Toyota is currently developing the remedy for this issue. Owners will be notified by late July 2024. Okay, so there's no official solution, but there's three main things that
Floating out there in the internet.
Floating,
Okay.
floating.
What are the three?
First of all, something is called a short block replacement. Basically, the core of the engine, which is about this tall and V6, right? Core short block replacement, full engine replacement, or potentially a buyback or lemon law, right? If your truck is out of service for a certain amount of time, like 30 days or more, in many states, there's lemon law and then there's buyback.
Yeah, so one of the solutions is you bring the truck in, they strip the parts off of the block, they put a new block in, they put
all the parts back in.
So things like alternators, air conditioning, all this stuff that lives.
All the cooling, everything, turbochargers.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, Toyota has done this before. If you recall, what was that, 20 years ago? It was a while ago.
They had to replace some frames.
They had to replace, on the Tacoma, they had to replace the entire frame. And if I remember right, our friend Stephen Elmer, his brother did this job because he was a Toyota tech,
Yeah.
and it was a 40-hour job. So you would basically strip the whole truck and then put it back together on
Yes.
a new frame. So this is not something that is out of the realm of possibility for Toyota.
Right. And then the second solution, so first solution is rebuilding the engine in
Yeah.
your truck. Second solution, just off the shelf, grabbing a new engine and plopping it into your
And
truck.
if I were owner, I would like that.
Yes.
Right, because let's say I've got 10, 20, 30,000 or even more on my engine, which is possible, right? Because this has been around for 2 years
Yeah.
and people put a lot of miles in the
Yes,
truck. I got
it could be.
100,000 miles, Toyota calls me and new engine. Woohoo!
Done.
I'm done.
Okay.
I got a new truck basically.
Okay.
I like that. And
Yes.
what's the third option? They buy back.
Buyback. Or lemon law and then buyback
That's
related
gonna,
to that.
That's going to get expensive because then you're stuck with a lot of trucks.
Yes. So we don't know exactly what the solution currently is. Those are some things floating around.
Now, we did some research.
Yes.
And we contacted the largest Toyota dealership in Denver because we wanted to know if this rumor that dealers aren't buying or trading on the Tundra is true.
Yes.
There you go.
This is our truck, by the way. We owned one of the first 2022 Toyota Tundra with the same twin turbo V6, non-hybrid, and I did an oil analysis report. This paper in my hand right here in this image is an oil analysis report.
You were there first time. Long before this happened. We had no, by the way, we had no issues with ours, but we
No.
didn't have it that long.
We had it for like 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had no knocking, no power problems, no engine problems, no transmission problems, nothing like that. Here's the report. We did it at 5,000 miles approximately, and it said basically normal.
So one of the,
The oil report came back normal.
one of the telltale signs, if you're a Tundra owner, that you're having this issue, is you can look at the oil, or you can see from the oil how much filings or how many shavings are in
Yes.
it. And if you're seeing a lot of that in the engine, it's kind of an early warning sign that you might have an issue with
Your engine.
your engine. Anyway, so we called the largest Toyota dealership,
Yes.
and they said absolutely they're buying back, and you know, not buying back.
So-
sorry, they're buying and trading for Tundras.
Okay.
And there's two reasons they're doing that. First and foremost is because it would be a slap in the face of their customers if they said no, right? And I see that, right? You show up and you want to buy a new whatever, and you've got a Tundra.
Tundra you
and
wanna
you're
trade in.
no. So they said they wouldn't do that. They said it may change, but that's not what they're doing. And then the second thing they said was they will, however, maybe discount the truck based on not just the engine, but also, you know, is it an off-road version? Is it, you know,
Well, how popular it is,
yeah.
how unpopular it is.
Is it a
yes,
platinum,
yeah.
right? Is it the top
Is
end?
it a capstone? Is
Right.
it not a capstone? Yes.
Yeah. So based on what type of engine, but in other words, they're saying if we have to fix this and we can't sell it right away, and it's going to sit on the lot waiting for Toyota to come by and, you know, provide a fix, then we're going to give you less money for it, and that makes perfect sense. So that is, you know, bad for Tundra owners.
Yes, but you shouldn't be turned away. I mean, it's bad for business, for the dealership, for Toyota. It's bad for the customer. So that's what our local dealer told us.
Yeah, not just the local, the largest dealer
Yes.
in Denver, and they sell a lot of trucks.
Yes.
So the question that we started this video with is Toyota's reputation for reliability in tatters?
This is not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Toyota is taking care of this. I mean, as any responsible company would do.
Yeah.
But a lot of their sales are built on reliability, right? And if there's a chink in your armor, by the way, I have some latest data on what happened in May for sales. So I wanted to show you guys. This is from markline.com, which is kind of a data company. And for May in the United States, Toyota sold 5,885 hybrid Tundras and 9,697 regular non-hybrid Tundras, which is 15,582. That's a lot of trucks for 1 month.
Yeah.
For Toyota.
And is the
Tundra.
hybrid affected, or is it just the
It's
normally
not
aspirated?
recalled.
Really?
Yes.
So for some reason, if you have the hybrid, you're okay.
But
so far.
But some owners of hybrids are reporting knocking.
Oh.
So you're not insulated. If you have a hybrid-powered Tundra, you're not insulated from this problem.
But Toyota has not voluntarily.
Yeah, they haven't voluntarily recalled those yet, or right now.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of trucks. Actually, this is better than they've ever done. I think their best month in previous years was like 11 or 12,000 Tundras a month.
Guys, we don't want to blow this out of proportion. The first thing the internet will do is blow it out of proportion, right? There's nothing better at making a mountain out of a molehill than forums.
And views.
Because obviously, if you're affected, then you're going to make this everybody's problem. And Toyota, has decades of experience building trucks. And for the most part, the new Tundra has been relatively rock solid. So we don't know if this is an iceberg, tip of the iceberg, or a molehill. We really don't know.
Yes.
But we will keep you informed as more developments happen. And I'm sure there's going to be more that's going to be happening with this in the weeks and months to come. But it is an interesting problem. And, at TFL, we try to stay on top of everything in the truck world. So, Andre, where should they go if they want to see more truck news?
oldtfl.com or tfltruck.com.
And thank you for watching. We shall see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao.